From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Well, the long-running plan to clean up the Candlelight River system is embarking on a crucial next step. Foundations are being poured on a concrete mega tank designed to stop untreated sewage reaching the river's fragile ecosystem.
Snaking its way through Launceston, the Candlelight River is a beautiful feature, but it's relying on this giant hole in the ground to solve a stomach-churning problem. The pipes that run under the city handle both sewage and stormwater, which means during severe weather they're prone to becoming overwhelmed, the untreated contents discharging straight to the river.
We've done some upgrades to the pump station and built a new pipeline to bring more flows to this treatment plant, and that'll have identifiable improvements to the health of Candlelight.
Those upgrades have included hammering a giant pipe under the river, but that alone won't solve the problem. During a storm event, the equivalent of 11,000 toilet flushes worth of water can flow through the pipes every single minute, which is far more than the sewage treatment plant can handle. So it'll all flow into this giant tank, which will act as a buffer, stopping that nasty liquid from flowing out into the river. With a 10 million litre capacity, the finished product won't be much to look at, a large concrete box poking about 4 metres out of the ground. But the $76 million project is a surprisingly clever engineering feat, addressing a rather stinky issue.
Some people may disagree with me, but I think it is a very sexy project because restoring the health of the river will restore the general health of all Tasmanians.
If all goes to plan, it should start doing its job by 2026.
The increase of the capacity of our network means that we'll overflow 50% less in an average year.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Meanwhile, Hobart City Council's launched a $1 million project to rewild rivulets and protect Hobart from flooding. The initiative aims to remove destructive willow tree branches, which experts say can block critical stormwater channels.
It's a soft wood, so it'll in the wind event, a lot of this wood will break and fall into the waterway. If it's a large piece that falls and catches in the wrong area, it can accentuate the flooding.
Just make our community less flood-prone and more resilient.
The project's being funded by the state and federal governments and is expected to take 3 years. Local fishermen say they're feeling the pinch with the ferry fiasco. Labor claiming space shortages on the existing Spirit of Tasmania ferries is preventing businesses from transporting their products interstate.
It's a nightmare at the moment. The last 2 months I think I've done 1 trip just to be able to get on.
Labor leader Dean Winter demanding the Premier increase day sailings.
We've got an entire business community, people who've invested their life savings, who've invested and got ready for these new ships, and they haven't arrived.
The state government says it will consult with key stakeholders to ensure fisheries and other services are supported during the delays. Woolworths won't be forced to stop selling salmon sourced from Macquarie Harbour, despite an attempt by activist shareholders at the supermarket giant's AGM today.
We're here to tell Woolworths that it is time for them to stop selling extinction and to save the Maugean skate.
It's an animal that's been around since the dinosaurs. Woolworths is making a choice to procure their salmon from that place.
The motion failing, attracting just 3% of votes in favour. It comes in the same week the Federal Environment Minister delayed a decision on whether to escalate the skate's endangered species status. Well, may your evening be a little creepy as much of Tasmania soaks up the spooky season. Trick-or-treaters are out in full force tonight, hitting the streets across the state and knocking on doors, all in the name of Halloween.
Not just Tasmania, but Spookmania. From creepy crawlies to clowns, spine-chilling skeletons and animatronic jump scares. The state upping its Halloween game, haunted houses spreading far and wide. A living nightmare with hundreds of trick-or-treaters swarming the streets, from covens of witches to pirates, princesses and everything in between.
I'm dressed up as the devil. I am Snow White.
So much fun. It's great for the kids to be able to do something different.
Animals also getting in on the spooky festivities. As more Tasmanians are becoming enchanted by the Halloween spell, the busier the costume boutiques become.
It's been really, really busy the last 7 days. People tend to leave it to the last minute with Halloween.
For the team at St John's, Halloween is more about life than death, using the occasion to host a spooky health lab. From wound dressings to CPR, this frightfully important class is all about giving people the skills needed to tackle the scariest situations.
It's a fun way to start what is a serious conversation.
The traditional pagan holiday no longer reserved for Americans.
Happy Halloween!
Rebecca Gaidaneris, 7 Tasmanian News.
Some of Tasmania's best pubs, cafes and accommodation providers have taken home gold in this year's Hospitality Awards. Many of the winners hoping the recognition provides a business boost coming into peak holiday season.
One of Launceston's favourite watering holes, proving it's the one to beat.
It doesn't feel like work to us, it just feels like we're at home all the time because we both enjoy just looking after people, and that's the name of the game, isn't it? Hospitality. So
The Plough Inn named Best Pub of the Year at the Tasmanian Hospitality Awards. 600 entries from across the state, including our best cafes, accommodation and tourism operators.
We are the third biggest employer in the state. We cover the whole state. We are a massive economic driver to this state.
Hobart powerhouse Pepina securing Restaurant of the Year. Sister Hotel Sapphire Freycinet and the Tasman taking home Best Deluxe Accommodation. But it was Iron Creek Farmstay proving the cheaper option can often be the better one.
Tasmania is renowned for really premium products, really premium and really boutique. But definitely some diversity. We've got, as I say, we've got that budget level.
It comes as $900,000 in government grant money soon becomes available to the 42,000 small businesses across the state, helping to keep them afloat.
Trading hasn't been quite up to the last couple of years, so we look forward to maybe renewing our website, bouncing into summer, welcome the multitude of customers.
With fingers crossed for a very busy summer season. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
Well, 2 iconic businesses have come together to help women re-enter the workforce. RACT and UTAS are now involved with improving workforce participation and reducing underemployment, with Dress for Success expanding into northern Tasmania.
This is the quality. It's amazing, isn't it? I really like this one.
Empowering women to re-enter the workforce, Dress for Success showing off its latest showroom at UTAS's Newnham campus. While the organisation has a Hobart presence, it's the first year its footprint has expanded north.
In fact, about 40% of the women that we work with are women returning to work after having a baby or those that have been in a caring role. We also support migrant women that have moved here to Tasmania.
Last financial year, Dress for Success supported 150 with a pop-up presence in Launceston. It's hoped more will now take advantage of sifting through the racks at Newnham.
Women who have completed their courses with the University of Tasmania, of course, are going to be contemplating their first career move, entering into the workforce. Often we have people who require some support and assistance. As we know, cost of living pressures are creating challenges for people.
RACT also on board providing a drop-off location at its Launceston office.
People can go and donate corporate clothing to support the confidence of women entering or re-entering the workforce.
Stylists are here to help with selections which can be kept without cost. A fashionable way to lend a helping hand. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
St Giles Niche Market will have a little extra sparkle when it returns next month, kicking off with a Friday night champagne shopping experience. The 2-day Christmas market will be held at Launceston's tram sheds from November 29, showcasing the wares of 50 Tasmanian makers.
Everything is Tasmanian designed, made or created. You're looking at price points from about $5 up to about $500. Most of the stuff is quite affordable though.
The niche market has been running for 15 years and has raised over $200,000 for St Giles. Nurses and midwives across Tasmania are celebrating how far they've come, today marking 100 years of the country's largest union. The ANMF celebrating achievements like professional wages and university education for students, but says there's a long road ahead.
We need to ensure that there are appropriate numbers of nurses and midwives to be able to deliver safe and quality care, because ultimately that's what leads to our members' satisfaction. That's why they come to work.
And I've stuck at it because I feel like things can only improve. And if some of us speak up, surely improvements, even little bit by little bit, can mean something.
Leaders also reconfirming their commitment to ensuring health staff are protected. Launceston's Cataract Gorge swimming pool will officially reopen on Saturday for Northern Tasmania's long weekend and the summer ahead. The pool and the basin looking picture perfect, with the Mayor and lifeguards inspecting the iconic waterhole.
We've done the pH testing. It's all looking absolutely fantastic. So it's great to be able to once again enjoy not only the serenity of what is such a beautiful natural space here in Launceston, just a couple of minutes out of the CBD, but also now to have the pool up and running as of this weekend.
If you're not comfortable swimming in the basin, don't jump in the pool. It's guarded. That's our area of supervision, is the pool.
Swimmers are reminded to make safety a priority and keep children 6 years old and under within arm's reach. It may still be many weeks away, but preparations for this year's Carols by Candlelight are already in motion. Around 4,000 festival goers are expected to pack into Tolosa Park in Glenorchy for that event, with all funds raised going to vulnerable children who need it most.
We do scholarships, we do grants, we do breakfast clubs in schools, 24 schools, 6,500 kids have breakfast every day.
You can expect a big 17-piece big band on stage, our usual cavalcade of singers, and like a lot of diverse sort of groups as well.
The event is scheduled to go ahead on December 21. Tickets $15.
As Cameron Bancroft and Wunderkind Sam Constance fell for ducks for Australia A this afternoon. As Tasmanian Tiger Bo Webster making a big statement for Test selectors in Mackay, leading Australia's scoring with 33 off 44 balls. Bowling earlier in the day, he was unlucky to go for 5 after an overthrow made it to the boundary. The big talking point, Brendan Doggett taking 6 Indian wickets. That stumps Australia trailing by 8 runs, 4 for 99. Hurricanes import Danny White-Hodge will face off with her English captain for the first time in Sydney tonight, as Heather Knight returns from a calf injury for the Thunder. Tonight's game does, of course, follow a convincing Canes victory when the two sides last met on Monday. Another win would set up a blockbuster with the undefeated Brisbane Heat on Saturday. Tomorrow's Silverdome clash with the Jackies will be the very first outing for South East Melbourne's new coach Josh King, who seems like he still has a penchant for sideline vocals he was known for at his former club in Germany's basketball Bundesliga.
Tonight, J-Bud! Tonight! Man!
Even though Phoenix are sitting bottom of the NBL ladder, the new coach won't be making any radical changes for the Tasmania game.
We'll do a couple of things differently, but again, it's just about getting better this week.
The Jokies are hoping tomorrow will be their second back-to-back win of the season.
Good evening. Hobart right on the October average today with 17 degrees. Launceston and Devonport our top with 21 and Burnie 19. St Helens 19. It was 17 at Low Head. Bushy Park, Smithton and Flinders Island. King Island and Friendly Beaches 16 and Strawn a high of 14. There was patchy low cloud over the west and northeast of the state today. The rest of the state mostly clear, just some high cloud drifting over. More cloud is over Victoria and inland WA. Heavy cloud over the top end, along with inland Queensland and northern New South Wales. Tomorrow a high position over southern South Australia. The troughs continue further afield. A cold front builds south of Western Australia. Winds west to southwesterly at 20 to 30 knots tomorrow with a 4-metre swell in southern waters. So a strong wind warning has been issued for waters from Stanley to Flinders Island and from Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point. We also have a warning to sheep graziers in the southeast and a bushwalkers alert for snow to 700 metres in the western forecast district. Hobart tomorrow 15 with a shower or two clearing, 13 the top for Huonville, a shower or two for Campania, 15 the maximum. Launceston partly cloudy and 19, 17 for Devonport, fine for Georgetown as well, 16 the maximum. Burnie mostly sunny and 16, but a shower easing from Strawn, 14 the top there and 17 for Wynyard. 50% chance of a shower or two in the east. St Helens 18, 17 for Swansea, Port Arthur 14 degrees. On Saturday a fine and partly cloudy day after patchy inland frost. Showers moving through on Sunday, contracting to the west later, and on Monday mainly fine apart from showers in the west. partly cloudy in Perth, a sunny day for Adelaide, cloudy and 17 in Melbourne, a shower for Sydney, 22 the top, and a possible storm on the way for Brisbane. Fine in Hobart, it's 14 at the moment, 18 right now in Launceston, 17 in Devonport. Halloween tonight, Kim. I don't want to be annoyed. I'm locking the door and not answering it.
I reckon you'd answer it if wine was being delivered. And that is all your news for now. We'll be back later with updates. Thanks for your company tonight. Good night.